been a week now since I recorded the first video, and at the time I recorded that I was pretty high. I was at the very peak, but I was pretty close to it. And it's kind of hard to gauge where I'm at now actually, because I'm not where I was. I've kind of come down a bit, but I'm not depressed. I'm kind of tortured, but I'm not depressed, but I'm not euphoric, but I'm still not quite myself. Textbook manic episode can last for 3 to 6 months, and if you're hypomanic, if you get rapid cycling, which I have quite badly in the past, which is like 4 or more episodes a year, then it can be more than that. Like, all the episodes can be shorter but more intense. And it's just hard to gauge. I mean, one of the things that a doctor will get you to do is gauge your mood in a mood diary. I kind of think back to when I was 14, because I shared in my first video about the onset and how I experienced the onset, which was not textbook at all. I mean, the nature of my highs were, but the length of them and my daily mood did not look like. How would you even gauge that? How do I feel today? Well, about a million different things depending on the time of the day, and when I click into my high, or when I'm in the morning, there's no, I wouldn't even know how to begin to gauge that. At the moment, I'm probably still technically high, and it's kind of strange because, well, I've had the same thing when I've had the depression as well, when I really find it hard to distinguish between the person that I am and the illness. Something that's really challenged about me this week is, well, since I've had this high, is that I'm a very honest person. It doesn't mean that I necessarily put everything out there. In fact, I tend to keep a lot to myself. A lot of the time, not for any terrible reason, but I don't know, I guess I prefer things that way generally. But I am an honest person, and I'm a very principled person. And I don't change truth or fact to suit what I want to be true, or to suit something that I've done wrong. I see it kind of a bit clear cut, like this is right, this is wrong. And my episodes really challenge that, to be honest, because at the moment I'm having such a hard time distinguishing between the illness and myself, distinguishing between the episode and what I would normally do in a situation or at this point in time. And it's also really difficult because when you're having an episode, if you're having a delusion, or if you're having just symptoms of the episode, it can borrow, it can take something that's part of you, or it can take a vulnerability about you and magnify that. So, if you've got some dream to do something nice one day, and you might get these delusions of grandeur where you think, oh, I'm going to be this famous person one day and have this famous cake, I'm going to bake cakes and have a famous cake empire and be famous and have all this money. Maybe normally you loves baking cakes, and maybe you want to open a bakery one day, or maybe you want to go in a competition, but this illness just takes that and blows it up. So I think I said in one of my previous videos, I tend not to get the delusions like that anymore. I do get what they call an inflated sense of self. I won't lie. I probably feel a bit more on top of my game with, well, not to toot my horn, I mean, I think that I'm intelligent, but when I'm high, I just think I'm like, really, I don't know. I tend to be quicker, and I snap back at people quicker, like I'm wittier, and I'm just on my game, and yeah, I don't know, I think I give off a different energy when I'm high. It's not necessarily me, or maybe it's one aspect of me, but it's just all really distorted and convoluted. Um, Something else that makes it complicated is that it can also be a truth serum for me, because I was just saying before, I'm a very honest person, and again, it doesn't mean that I necessarily put everything out there for the whole bunch of reasons, but when I'm high, I lose that sense of inhibition. I lose that part of me that says, don't do that, that's not a good idea, or this consequence can happen. I just kind of come out and say it. I say what I think. I guess an example would be what I talked about in one of my videos with the situation with my boss, where I got like really angry about something, and then I just remembered that I was angry about a bunch of other things, and I fired off this email, and we sorted it out. Like, I kind of came to my senses a bit, and we just talked about it, and I apologised for that. But I just find that I've lost my sense of, well, I don't know, it's like I don't have breaks. I don't have that part of me that says, don't do that, that's not a good idea, this will lead to this, will lead to this, will lead to this. Things just feel really matter of fact to me. It's like emotions are removed from potential consequences. Yeah, I don't know, like, it's like I wasn't even scared. Like, I had a meeting with my boss because I just wanted to clear the air and just say, hey, sorry for the email, and I wasn't even scared that he'd blow up at me or anything, or that I'd hurt people or hurt him or anything. Yeah, I don't know, it's just hard to distinguish between me and the illness. It's hard to distinguish because it is part of me, like, part of me is honesty, and so that's what comes out of me, but not all honesty is always helpful. At times it's been fun, but it's not always helpful. And it can really fuck things up. I don't know that I can say much more right now because my brain's starting to fade. It's 1:40 a.m. on a work night, so I guess that means I'm still high. There you go.